Hello, everybody. My name is Larissa, and welcome to another live video. I'm super excited because in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a topic that is so near and dear to my heart, and it's about the power of our mind and how I've, over the years, learned to use meditation as one of the most powerful healing tools in my life and in my journey. And I, of course, believe in the importance of living a healthy lifestyle in all realms when it comes to how we eat and nourish our bodies, moving our bodies daily, getting time in the sun. But everything that is in this reality that is physical or non-physical, everything is energy. And our entire body is also made of energy, and understanding the energetic realm of healing can be so life-changing. And I've learned a lot over the years about quantum physics and how to shift our energy to give us the best health possible. And one of my favorite teachers that I've learned from is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's an incredible meditation teacher. I've been to a handful of his meditation retreats, most of them being 7 days long. He recently started doing 10-day retreats, and I went to the first one that they ever held last year in December, and I'm actually getting ready to go to another one that's also going to be 10 days on Friday. And that's going to be a very exciting trip, going down to Cancun, Mexico for 10 days for that retreat with my boyfriend, and then we're going to spend some time in Tulum as well after that, which is really exciting because I've never been to Tulum. And there's going to be all the beautiful tropical fruit to feast on. But I want to share some of the experiences I've had over the years of learning and understanding this knowledge on a deep level when it comes to what meditation can do for your life, what shifting your energy body can do for your health and your mindset and everything in your life, really, like your abundance, your happiness, the state that you live in every moment. And that is what truly affects how you perceive reality. So oftentimes, most of us, the way we grew up, we were kind of conditioned to live as a victim to our reality, to think that everything is happening to you. And, even the medical industry easily makes us victims. Like if someone gets something like cancer, it's like, oh, wow, like we don't understand where this came from. It's becoming more common, but, kind of just like, poor you, but in reality, we create what happens to us, and everything is happening for us. Because, for instance, any sort of illness is showing you that something is out of alignment, usually diet, or maybe you're holding on to trauma or suppressed emotions that need to be released and moved through the body. And so the amazing miracles that I've witnessed at these retreats, specifically the Dr. Joe Dispenza retreats, well, it's shown me that it's not all just about diet, because I've witnessed miracles before my eyes of people with cancer being able to, through meditation, through raising their vibration and getting into a harmonious frequency, all of a sudden their cancer is gone in an instant. And he's teaching us to work in the quantum realm. And what is the quantum realm? Well, everything is existing in the quantum realm. It's the space between everything, all the nothingness. It's really full of energy. What we see in between objects is this empty space, but it's not empty. It's full of energy. Our entire body is energy. And when you can settle your mind down, close your eyes, and sit in meditation, you can kind of transport your consciousness to what's called the quantum realm and go into that space of nothing. Because although the world as we perceive it, everything seems to be physical, our bodies seem to be physical, the objects around us seem to be physical, But in reality, everything is mostly empty space. When you go to the atomic level and zoom in to atoms, which is what everything is made of, atoms are mostly empty space. You have wave and you have particle, and particle is the actual material that we see, and the waves is the energy. But an atom is actually only like 0.0000001% particle, physical. There's empty space in between every single atom, but in this realm, it's in a more dense form, so we see it as physical. And there's a lot of scientific research and studies out there that have shown that the way that we're working in this modern day and age in our lives is in the physical realm. But science has shown that energy actually affects the material world. So, like I said, if you harmonize the frequency of your body, get it into a harmonious frequency, you can see disease leave the body. And that is an example of energy affecting matter. We're typically doing the opposite. We're typically using, I guess, the physical realm of matter to change energy. Like if you have a headache, you might take a pill to make it go away. You're using something material to try and affect how you feel rather than just using the energy to affect the matter. If you want the headache to go away, you can just sit and meditate and focus on your brain where that headache is and sending it harmonious frequencies. And we're seeing more and more people use these sort of frequency styles of healing using energy to affect matter. And it's very, very, very effective. And so meditation is just one of the many ways that we can use energy to heal and to affect matter. People are using it for manifestation. That's another example. You can, do certain things in your life, whether it's meditation or listen to certain frequencies, and basically start to condition your own frequency and your mind and your thought patterns and your emotions towards an abundance state, and you will start to draw in more abundance into your life. All of a sudden, maybe a new, job opportunity or career comes your way, or an amazing thing happens, like a donation comes to you of some sort, and you're just like, wow, in amazement, how did this happen? Where did this come from? That's another way that we can see energy affecting matter, rather than, once again, the modern way of doing things is like, okay, you have to do, like do this, go to college, get a job, put yourself out there. And of course, both matter. You have to take action, but we can collapse the amount of time it takes to do things, just like with healing. If you are trying to heal an illness, let's use the example of cancer once again, and you are, doing all the right things when it comes to your diet, you're eating healthy, but you are a very angry and resentful person. Sure, at least you're putting good food into your body, but that cancer may not even be linked to your diet. I mean, I'm sure it's going to always affect it to an extent, but it may have really been the suppressed emotions, the anger, the resentment, whatever you're holding on to, that is actually what is manifesting this cancer. So if you don't face that root cause of the problem, then that's not going to allow you to actually heal. So in my own journey, I've learned that there's layers to the healing process. If physical ailments are what, you are looking to improve in your life, then working just on the physical realm is not always the only solution. We have to also be mindful of our energetic state, our emotions, and how that is also manifesting the state of our physical body and any ailments we have. In my own journey, I had to learn the hard way, because I used to have a lot of health issues before I started my health journey. I was diagnosed with insulin resistance, which is prediabetes. I had PCOS and just really out of balance hormones and really severe cystic acne and joint pain, tons of inflammation in my body. And I transitioned 8 years ago to a mostly raw plant-based diet full of, living foods, minimally processed foods, and that completely reversed all of those health problems. And it was amazing. And for many years, I was just feeling healthier and healthier day by day. And, as life took me through all the ups and downs, as I've, been gaining more wisdom and becoming more and more of an adult. I'm 31 now. Through certain life experiences, I, at a certain point, went through a really traumatic period where a lot of very traumatic things happened to me in a short period of time. And this made it so that I was holding on to a lot of trauma and emotions in my body. And this was about 3 years ago. So I was about 5 years into my plant-based journey, which had healed me. But now I had to learn how to heal on the non-physical realm, the energetic realm, the emotional realm, because when all that trauma happened to me, a lot of my old symptoms came back that I was dealing with before I was healthy and plant-based. So I was very upset at first and frustrated that I was having a lot of these old symptoms come back when my diet was perfect. It hadn't changed. The diet that had originally healed me it seemed like it wasn't working anymore. And I've helped, I've coached and worked with people that have had similar experiences. They're like, I'm doing everything right with my diet. Like, what's going wrong? Why aren't I, having the high levels of health that I want to experience? And it's like, okay, well, let's dive into the non-physical realm of what's going on within you as well. That's just as important, if not, even more powerful to address, because everything, like I said earlier, is energy before it's matter. So we have to have this understanding of where we're at in our energetic state and our emotional state, and what sort of thoughts and patterns are circulating within us that are creating these outcomes that we're experiencing. So I was really grateful later on about this journey that life took me on to learn how to heal, not just on the physical realm with diet, but also on the energetic realm with frequency, with my emotional state, my thought patterns, and my energy. So at this time, I had already been meditating a lot, but I kind of took a break when I was, going through this difficult time. But when it's the most challenging is when it's the most important to keep your energy high and to focus on like meditation and mindfulness. But of course, when you're going through a difficult time, that's when it's the hardest. But it's also important to feel everything and to not just like look past it and just try to, just think happy thoughts, even though you're going through something traumatic. You have to feel it all, but you have to let it move through you and not let it get stuck, because that is what can truly cause disease. And we don't want that, right? So I think the beautiful thing about meditation, it's not about just looking past how you're feeling. It's about slowing down and going within so that you can really sit with where you're at and what you're feeling. And you get into this state where you become the observer. You're no longer in the ego of, I'm Larissa and this is what I'm going through. You step back out of that place where it's really easy to be a victim to your reality, and you just observe from a neutral perspective. And as you slow your thoughts down, you can kind of realize these patterns and get to a state as you slow your brain waves down into theta, because there's high beta, which is high stress. There's low beta, which is just kind of when we're operating in the everyday world, but we're not, too overstimulated. Then there's alpha, which is a very relaxed state. It's a very healthy state to be in, kind of when you're around someone that you feel really comfortable with and you're relaxed. Then there's theta, which is a meditative state or a hypnotic state, where then if you are in meditation, you can be in a state where you can reprogram any patterns that you would like to. And it's also a really great state to be in to listen to affirmations or anything positive that you want to reprogram your subconscious with. You want to do that in a state of theta. And that's basically the way you get there is through closing your eyes, slowing your brain waves down, through breathing slowly and meditating. And I love guided meditations for that reason, because it can just help me to like let go, release, and let the guided meditation guide me into, the ways I want to reprogram my brain. And then you have delta, which is like just being asleep, which sometimes people have a hard time staying awake when they're meditating. So you want to stay in that theta state when you're meditating. But the beautiful thing about it, like I said, is that's where you can reprogram. That's where you can, you're in that observer state. You can observe where you're currently at and then go, okay, I, you know, I'm releasing like all that is no longer serving me, and I'm actually going to be grateful for my life. I'm going to be grateful, even though these circumstances are challenging right now. They're, creating a new path for me, a new reality, and whatever you want to, basically implement into the new reality that you can choose to step into, because you can start to come from a more empowered place when you step out of that victim seat and into that observer and into just pure consciousness, start rewiring and becoming more empowered in your life. And so you can do that same thing when it comes to any health problems. Every time you go into a meditative state and you enter that theta state, I mean, even without doing anything, you are automatically creating a very healthy state for your body to be in, because you're relaxing your nervous system, and your nervous system is going to affect your body in a lot of different ways, because every emotional state is linked to producing a certain chemical in your body, a certain like cocktail of different chemicals. So, like serotonin, melatonin, endorphins, like everything from even certain chemicals that will help you relieve pain. And obviously the higher states that you're in, like love, gratitude, and bliss and joy, they're going to create more uplifting chemicals that your body will release. If you're in a state of stress and anger and you're, just very unhappy with your life, if you're depressed, your body's going to be creating chemicals that will probably be more inflammatory and cause you more pain. And like I said earlier, can even lead to disease. So that's the beautiful thing. Even without needing to know how to do anything, if you're just slowing your brain waves down, focusing on your breath, and being in a calm state, relaxing your nervous system and getting it out of that fight or flight that most people are living in, you're automatically going to be healing your mind and your body on so many levels. So that's another thing I see a lot in the health world, is people are changing their diets to be healthy, to heal, but they are so stressed about a lot of things going on in their life or their food choices, like, oh, I don't know if I can eat this, I don't know if I can eat that, and it's stressing them out. And that stress around food is going to be more harmful than you eating one little thing that isn't perfect for your body, and I try to remind people that, like, don't be stressed when you're eating, especially, and don't be stressed around food. It's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be very simple, easy, pleasurable, and very intuitive. Like, we should easily know what is right for our body. Biologically, we're drawn to fruit for a reason. It smells really good. It's sweet. It's desirable. It's colorful. Our monochromatic vision draws us into the colors of beautiful, ripe fruit. So it's really simple when you have that understanding, and you can be in a very relaxed state around your dietary choices. But that's very important because, like I said, stress is more harmful than eating the wrong food, honestly. So if you are changing your diet to be healthy, then you also should be aware of changing your mindset, your emotional state, your frequency, because it's not going to give you the results that you are looking for if you are still living in fight or flight every day, and your job is stressing you out, and you're in an unhealthy relationship, and your family is stressing you out. All of that kind of stuff is going to make you sick as well. And nobody wants to live as a victim to their reality when we're here to create our realities. And I'm very excited that I'm going to this next Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat in a few days. Because every time I just come back feeling so empowered, like, wow, I really am the creator of my reality. Like, I feel so much more empowered living in that state versus why is this happening to me? Like, why does my life suck? Why can't I have this or that? Like, you have the choice of how you want to live. And that choice, like that state is a choice. Like, do you want to be empowered or do you want to feel, like a victim? Like, it's really up to you. I know it's really hard sometimes because sometimes we are victimized, but once again, that's another opportunity for us to dive into some healing. And it's not always fun and easy, but it's basically going to give you the life of your dreams when you dive into this work and you do it for the love of yourself. And I see some comments. Hello, absolutely amazing. Hey, Jerome, great to see you as well. Yes, so I hope this message resonates with you all. I can't stress it enough how beautiful and important it is to focus on your frequency. I know it's not always easy, but it will get easier over time. Every time you sit down to meditate, it's a practice. It's not, it's not about being perfect. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You can do it in silence. You can do a guided meditation. I love Dr. Joe Dispenza's guided meditations. They've been the most transformative for me. But there's a lot of different styles of meditation out there. Doing yoga is a meditation. Watering your garden, walking on the beach, just being mindful and having a little bit of detachment from this story that you are living in. Like, sometimes it's good to zoom out and realize, like, I like to do it with myself all the time. Like, I'm not Larissa in this life. Like, I'm consciousness that decided to come into this body, and this body is named Larissa, and I'm taking care of it for this lifetime. And the stories that we get sucked into with, our friends, our family, any sort of drama, any sort of thing going on in the world that sounds scary. Like, it's just a storyline that we can choose to either feed into with fear and let it bring our state down, or we can choose to, just be a little bit more zoomed out and in a calmer state of like, everything is working out for the highest good. I'm just here to observe this reality, to, co-create within it. And we truly are creators, divine creators from God, from source. And just know you are capable of anything, literally anything. I've witnessed miracles. I've been at these Dr. Joe Dispenza retreats. I've seen people that were blind be able to see again. I've seen people that were in wheelchairs be able to walk again. I've seen people with cancerous tumors having their tumors disappear within the blink of an eye, because we were deep in meditation and raising our frequencies to such a high level where dis-ease cannot exist. So anything is possible. If you want to manifest any experience into your life, it is possible. And going through the quantum realm, the realm of the non-physical, will get you to where you want to be even quicker. But of course, we have to take action as well in our lives and participate in this reality, because we're all here for a reason. We chose to come into this lifetime. So let's experience it, but let's not get too sucked into it and forget who we truly are, which is infinite, divine, abundant love. So on that note, I am sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I will keep you guys updated while I'm in Mexico for the next few weeks. I'll be there for like over 3 weeks. It's going to be amazing. And I'll definitely vlog and share some fun videos. So stay tuned for those to come. And yes, I will see you guys in another video very soon. Talk to you later. Bye.